I am JD. I'm at geekydoom on Twitter, and I'm joined again with
Caitlin at Days Drawings on Twitter. And today we are going to be doing a character for my father, actually. The description we have is a bard who is a merchant prince's son. Learned the gift of gab and entertainment through business. Not obsessed with his looks, uses his smarts and his sharp wit. Not so much brute force. He sees him as a calculated, chaotic, neutral character.
So I'm assuming this is a very cunning operator.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
And we're going to be doing a D&D character as opposed to last week's Mutants and Masterminds character.
So I'll be building it out in D&D Beyond tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Going through, and we're going to stepwise level. We're going to start with level 1, which I'll export for your father.
Yep.
Stepwise level, and I'll also export a level 20 version of the character, so we get to see the character evolve from level 1 all the way to level 20.
Mm-hmm. And I'll be over here doing the art for the character.
Real quick, just one note, Kate. What was the race that your father had selected, or did he indicate?
He gave us no race and no physical descriptors, so that means we get to do whatever we want.
We get to be evil tonight. What do we think? Something that's suave, something that's cunning. I'm thinking maybe a half-elf. What do you think?
Yeah, half-elf seems good.
Half-elf sounds fantastic.
All right, and we are going to jump right into it. So I'm going to start off just with a physical sketch, just so I can get a pose and a frame made up.
Give the character name temporary name until we figure that out later. That can come later.
Yep.
Ooh, half-elf. We have options for variants.
Oh, variants. I love variants.
Merchant Prince. Let me think about this. Merchant Prince. What do you think? I mean, the obvious answer is to go with the high elf, but I think we can get a little more creative than that. What do you think?
I think so. What about a sea elf?
I was thinking that an aquatic elf, right? And the merchant prince is somebody who would sell wares both underwater and on land.
I was thinking more of like a boating kind of like merchant.
Oh, so like purely like a naval, like a shipping operation.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. We can get behind that. I think aquatic elf it is.
It adds a little bit of flavor to the oh-so-classic half-elf bard.
Alright, so ability score increased because of race. I get to pick charisma score increases by 2, and I get to pick 2 other scores to increase by 1. Let me think here.
Well, he said he's very dexterous.
I mean, that would be a good option for building a bard, right?
Yeah. Dexterity is one of the preferred stat increases for bards. Unless you're trying something a little more risky with your bard.
Oh, see, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go dex score, and I think I'm going to go constitution.
Alright.
Have it be a bit more of a hardy, like I'm picturing almost like an Aquaman type elf, right? Something that's a little more hardy, a little more sturdy.
Yeah. I've just realized I've been drawing on my background layer and not my a different layer, so yay me. Pick a bonus language. We can get really fun with this. I think I'm going to give him a bonus language of Loxodon. He hung out with the elephant folk at some point. Right, like there's a trade agreement or something, right? I think we can work that out in the backstory. Oh, heck yeah. Almost no one speaks Loxodon anymore. So I have to restart my sketch a little bit because I was on the wrong layer. Happens sometimes.
That is okay. Oh, I get to pick 3 instruments. Oh, okay, you gotta help me out with this. What kind of instruments do we want your father to play? They gotta be ridiculous, right? Like, I'm putting bagpipes in there for sure. Like, he's absolutely playing the bagpipes.
I think he had a character who played the bagpipes before.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, I think it was...
Fantastic.
I think it was Mater.
Lucky. Every week. I don't know. I think also... I'm going to go with the dulcimer. I don't know what a dulcimer is, but it sounds awesome.
I think a dulcimer is one of those weird string instruments.
I like string instruments. So we got string instruments, we got bagpipes, we need something that sounds truly beautiful. What do you think? Flute or viol? That's what I'm feeling. Either flute or...
A viol is like in a kind of a violin, right?
I think so.
It's in a similar family.
Maybe I'll go flute. I think maybe I'll go flute.
Flute, okay. I was trying to think what would be good with, like, sea shanties, and you know.
Oh, yeah, totally. Picking skills for creating this cunning merchant operator, I think deception right off the bat.
Yeah.
That's what I jump to. I'm like,
seafaring's more of a survival-based thing, right? Normally.
yeah, absolutely. And I think what maybe we do to explain that is we pick the sailor background, right? And then that packages everything all together.
That is interesting because I would have thought noble because of his noble prince.
Ooh, now we've got a tough decision to make.
Is he more sailor or is he more merchant?
Well, he didn't specify, right? So we get to really decide that. No, you know what? He said merchant prince. We're going to stick with that. I think that we'll stay with the noble background, and I will give survival to cover what you were saying as one of the class skill options.
Yeah.
But I think also insight, right? Because you want to be able to see, but you also don't want to be duped when you're in the trade.
And persuasion. Game. You want persuasion, obviously.
Let's see if we can pick up persuasion in the background. Because it's the
I think persuasion comes with the noble.
Boom. Okay, that looks beautiful there. Let's go play with some spells. Got to pick spells that play up the merchant prince style. What can give us the advantage as the cunning operator? Friends, I think, right off the bat, right? So if the meeting is going bad, you bust out the friend spell and you turn things to your side.
We're at the stage of the drawing where I have to resize the head, as always.
That's interesting. So resize the head. What does that mean?
So I normally start when I draw with the head. And normally by the time I finish drawing the rest of the body, I realize that the head is either too big or too small, which means I have to go and select the head and neck and just size it up or down depending on where it is. Because that's bound to happen sometimes.
Absolutely.
Because when you start in one area, you're bound to get a size differentiation once you start getting it elsewhere.
Let's sort actually do cantrips first. So citing cantrips, I chose friendship right off the bat. Makes sense to me. I've got 2 cantrips to pick, so I'm working through the next one.
Yeah, I think those work.
What do you think about vicious mockery as a cantrip? So we give him an offensive cantrip that he can bust out. He's got that silver, that wicked noble tongue that he can bust out when he needs to.
Huh. I mean, what other kind of offensive cantrips are there for bards? Because I know
Thunderclap is the other one.
Thunderclap. So it's just those 2.
Yeah. For offense, if we're dealing strictly damage. There's other ones that can augment your ability to deal melee damage or help you in certain ways, but if you're really purely focusing on the damage component, those really are your options.
Man, they don't give bards a lot of options to start.
For cantrips, they get some pretty cool other things, though. Like, bards get a lot of utility. I think they're one of the most versatile classes in 5th
Absolutely.
edition.
Giving them one of their abilities, just have 2 spells from any spell list, and you get that, 2 or 3 times, and an additional time depending on your subclass.
Nope. Yeah, that's fantastic. I think
possibilities.
I think I'm going to go with vicious mockery. We're gonna play up that silver tongue, that wicked tongue.
That's just not a lot of options for offense, though, as a cantrip.
Yeah, we can play that out with first level spells, of which I get 4 to pick from, and I've chosen Charm Person right off the bat because that plays into the theme.
Obviously, that has saved so many situations.
Let's see. Next.
I'm done with the sketch, so the base body sketch. So I'm going to do the clothing sketch now.
Kate, in our vision for this,
Vision,
how
yes.
haughty, spelled H-A-U-G-H-T-Y, how haughty do we picture your father's character being, right?
Well,
would he be somebody who would want to summon an unseen servant to do all of the mundane tasks for him, when other servants just won't do?
Well, if I know my father, absolutely haughty.
Fantastic. So, unseen servant it is.
Now, in the clothing description, he said he didn't care about his looks. However, he was the son of a merchant prince, which means he's a fancy boy, obviously.
So, how much are you going to play into the fancy, or is he going to be one of those guys who goes out amongst the commoners dressed as the commoner?
I don't know. I think I'm not going to give him extravagant clothing, but I'm giving him, nice clothing.
Well, if he's a merchant, he's got to make business deals, right? So he's got to look somewhat nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not going to give him anything overly extravagant, but he has to wear something nice, because that's just a given.
Absolutely.
With a merchant. You're not going to show up to a business deal in, a potato sack. Come on. You're not convincing anybody of that trade deal in that outfit.
Unless, of course, you're strictly selling to potato farmers.
That's a weird selling point. Like, I really liked your product. I'm like it so much that I'm wearing the packaging.
We really understand potatoes. We get to the root. We get to the root of the material. Alright, so I'm going to pick comprehend languages as well, right? Because you need to be able to communicate to sell things.
Yes, obviously.
We have a request from the chat.
Hello, chat.
Woo!
King Nerdly says make him wear a pink bedazzled jacket.
King Nerdly has requested a pink bedazzled jacket. Kate, how do you feel about that?
On one hand, I love it. On the other hand...
Do you think Chef would appreciate wearing a pink bedazzled jacket?
I do not think so, which is I don't think I can do it. Because I don't think it fits the character description of he doesn't care what he wears.
Well, if he doesn't care what he wears, maybe he could wear the pink bedazzled
Compromise.
jacket.
I'm giving him a vest because all fancy lads wear vests. That's just like fancy lad 101.
Now, is that going to be a bedazzled vest?
I'm going to bedazzle some of the vest. I will compromise.
Fantastic.
We will have bedazzle, but it has to fit.
I'm all for that.
For the sake of flavor.
I think I'm going to give him dissonant whispers, so that he has another attack spell. Because combat happens in this game of combat.
How many combat first level spells do
Oh, there's a whole bunch, but I want to play into the whole it's his spoken word.
Yeah, because
that is his danger.
I've played Bard before. I don't remember how many level 1 offensive spells you get. I don't remember there being a lot though.
Oh my gosh, we get to decide. We're going to build this character with standard array, or are we going to roll dice?
Let's. I am a personal fan of rolling for dice. Rolling for your stats, I mean. Because it's just a bit more fun. Because standard array, it's fine, but it's not as fun. Because then you don't get the extreme high and lows that come with rolling.
I'm all for that. I'm stepping away from chair for just a moment to grab a set of dice.
You guys get to see me draw sleeves. And gloves. I'm thinking a vest, a slightly more billowy shirt, and some oversized cuffed gloves and boots like you might see on a pirate.
Ooh, I like that. So I got some dice. And we're gonna roll them. So we have some folks in chat.
Yes, King Nerdly says that the bedazzled vest is a valid compromise.
Valid compromise.
If we have King Nerdly's approval, I think that's all we need.
I mean, he is the king.
We got a 13 for our first rolled stat, folks.
13?
Yep.
Not bad.
Not bad. That's a 16 for our second, so...
Looking good.
Womp womp. Ooh, that one's not as good.
Ooh, what we get?
That one is a 10.
Well, I think that's probably going to go on the strength unless we get something lower.
Probably. We may have just gotten something lower. That's a 9. The luck of the dice. Oh, man. That is a 17.
Cool.
And that is... That's 3 6s. Holy crap. We have an 18, folks.
Woo!
You saw it here.
Charisma,
right.
baby.
Charisma, right? We're going to drop that 18. So let me go over here to manual, and we're going to toss our values in. And that charisma is absolutely going to be an 18. Now.
Next highest should probably be Dex, because he did emphasize the whole...
And we got that 1 point coming up, so I'm going to throw an odd number in for that, because that bumps that to an 18. So, winning combination there. Let's see here. I'm going to give him the 16 in intelligence, right? He's going to be shrewd. That's how I picture this character, right? He's smart.
He did mention his wits when he in the character description as well.
So it fits flawlessly. He's the guy who comes in. He's the smartest man in the room. Sits down at the business meeting, and he knows he's going to walk away the victor of any trade agreement. So we got the 17 taken care of. We got the 18 taken care of. We got the 16. That leaves us a 13, which I'm going to throw into Constitution.
Okay.
So we got a bonus point there. That's going to bump that up to a 14. So nice there. And health is important to survival or something in these games.
It might help.
Do we care about strength or wisdom more at this point? Is he more naive or is he more weak?
I'd say put wisdom at a higher.
Wisdom at a higher. So
Because
wisdom's going to be 10, average.
Book smarts aren't going to do a whole lot for you in a business dealing if you have no common sense whatsoever.
Agreed. Now, Kate, personal question. Would you define your father's character,
Yes.
as having common sense?
You're asking whether my father or the character has common sense. I'm going to hope the Merchant's Prince has common sense.
Very cool. So, noble background. That's where we're going to go with this, right?
Yep.
We talked about it. So he's the son of a prince.
Mhm.
He is a merchant. He has skill proficiencies in history and persuasion, which that gives us that sweet persuasion we wanted.
And that astute, learned background with the history.
So now we have to pick a gaming set. What do we want? We have
he's
dice, we've got chess, playing cards, or a 3-dragon anti-set. What do you see most used on the high seas?
Dice.
Dice, right?
No question, dice.
Absolutely. Bonus language. So we gave him Loxodon before for hilarity's sake. Let's pick a more serious one this time.
Which languages does he already have? Does he have, like, Aquan?
I think, Aquan, Elven, and Common, I believe.
Okay.
And then Loxodon. So
I'm giving him slightly finned ears because of the aquatic.
I love that.
And giving him some slicked back hair.
I'm thinking...
You know, the look.
Dwarvish, right? Dwarvish is pretty common.
Yeah.
Go with that.
And now the audience gets to see how absolutely tiny I draw
Fantastic.
as I resize the sketches so I can start moving on to the line art phase, where I just draw the nicer, cleaner lines. Let's make them real big.
Lawful neutral for alignment.
Chaotic neutral.
Chaotic.
He mentioned chaotic in the thing, a chaotic neutral character.
See, I picture somebody who has to play by the rules of trade, right? And trade agreement.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree with that, but that's in the character description.
Yeah, we'll go with that. With what he requested, he shall get.
Shall get, but he requested nothing in appearances. Anything else.
Mm-hmm. Now, what world are we putting this character into? Because that's going to tell me what pantheon I should be looking into for a god or a goddess.
We have to make a god for him.
Right.
I'm only really familiar with the Forgotten Realms. I'll admit that.
I think we'll throw Timora in there.
Timora?
Timora.
Could you tell me more Timora? Because I genuinely don't know anything about them.
Sure. I'll actually read you an official thing about Timora. Let me pull that up. Well, that comes up. I'm giving him lifestyle wealthy or aristocratic. What do we want? Wealthy or aristocratic?
Merchant princes are normally like the big wigs in wealth, so I'd say aristocratic, maybe.
Aristocratic?
I don't know how successful his dad was, though. He's living off daddy's money.
Alright. Timora, or more commonly Lady Luck, was the goddess of good fortune. She shone upon those who took risks and blessed those who dealt harshly with the followers of Beshaba.
Ooh, got a rivalry.
Mm-hmm. I mean, all good businesses have rivalry, right? That's something we want.
Yes, obviously.
Promotes good trade. Alright. I'm at the description phase. I'm going to ask what you envision for this character's design, right? Hair color. What are we thinking?
I'm going for something very basic, probably like a dark blue.
Dark blue. Let's say skin.
Light blue.
Light blue. Eyes. Oh, something like maybe like
seafoam green.
Yeah, I was thinking exactly that. Seafoam green.
You know, give it a little bit more spice.
So I'll toss in a height and a weight value there. Let's say something like, we'll put him 5'9". Yeah. And then
averagely tall.
Yeah. How old do you want him? I mean, he's an elf, right? Or half elf.
Half elf. So he ages at human rate but lives longer.
Yeah.
I
mean, a younger, right? You want this to be like the young hot shot.
Yeah.
So maybe 25?
Sure. Everyone loves a young
You
and
have
young
a raised
character.
hand?
King Nerdly says the design of the ears is perfectly aquatic. Bravo to Kate.
Well, thank you.
Bravo, Kate. Oh, now I get to personality traits. Here's where I get to have fun.
Remember, folks, if you don't tell us more about your character, we get to make the decisions for you.
Well, there's some things he did tell us that we'll
Yeah.
absolutely be putting in here.
Obviously,
So,
yes. If you tell us, we'll keep it in, which is why we're keeping the chaotic alignment.
shrewd and so personality traits: shrewd and clever. Does not put much stock in appearance.
Getting a phone call. Not right now, though.
All right. Ideals. I'm going to give him an ideal that says coin. Money is what powers society.
I mean, it does.
Bonds. So what is he bonded with? What's something that could be leveraged in game by a clever dungeon master? I would say his connection to his wealth is absolutely a bond. When you're talking about a merchant prince like this, somebody whose literal life is acquiring wealth, the wealth becomes the thing that you're bonded to, right?
Yeah, obviously.
I need
Thing for the dungeon master to do. Your character has to marry your father's chosen suitor for you, or else you get cut off.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, what a great example.
That's been used a few times to good effect.
Flaws. I don't know if greed would be. I mean, is that leaning too much into it? I mean, that seems to be the obvious one to me, right? To say
Obviously.
greed is the flaw for this character.
Yes, yes.
I'm going to defer to chat. Hey, King Nerdly, if you're on still, what would you say a good flaw for this character should be?
Or anyone else in the chat.
Anybody, yeah.
King Lurley's just been the most
I defer to
active.
the chat on this one. What are we thinking? There's a lag, yep.
Yeah.
Gives me a chance to drink some of my cocoa.
You cocoa ho.
Gambling addiction.
Gambling addiction!
Gambling addiction, that's great.
Yes! Gamble daddy's money away.
And what's great about that is you're traveling to all these different ports. You have such an opportunity to feed into that.
This would be good for like a seafaring campaign, probably.
Yeah.
Or
no,
something
see,
that takes place near like a coastline at the very least.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Unless you want him to have run away from home, but like this doesn't seem like the kind of character who would run away from home. These lines do not look right, but I will get them to look right, god dang it.
Alright. Is that organizations?
Merchant's Guild?
Merchants Guild, yeah. And I think we're also going to give him, so like, what would we want to call his family name? We have to come up with something cool.
He doesn't even have a name.
I know. We get to build this like
Yeah.
entirely our own. I'm going to try to come up with an awesome fantasy name.
You're pretty good at that.
Yeah, let's see what we can come up with. Alright, he is also...
Just a quick question to the chat. What do they think of the handle on the sword I just made? I'm not certain if I like it or not. Oh?
For
What?
the new people in chat,
Yep.
King Nerdly asked, how do you submit a character?
To submit a character, go to geekydoom.com. We have a form there. You'll choose between either Mutants and Masterminds 3rd Edition or Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition. And just tell us a little bit about your character. You can be as verbose as you want or as limited as you want. Just remember, the more limited you are in your description, the more fun Kate and I get to have.
Yes. Use that at your own risk.
You can also tweet at Kate or I. I'm at geekydoom on Twitter.
And I'm at Days Drawings.
And let us know any ideas that you have from there as well. All right. What do you think about this? Like, his father's name is Chevron.
Ooh.
I gave them the family line Balthazar.
Ooh, I like Balthazar.
So the father's name, right? You have this like this patriarch of the family, Chevron Balthazar. That could be a villain name.
That sounds like an evil dragon's name.
That absolutely could be. Ooh. See, I'm already like, you could create a campaign around that. I love that. We'll say Chevron Balthazar. Captain Victor Stewart. And that'd be the captain of the ship that he transports him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm thinking maybe a bodyguard as well. We should absolutely give him a bodyguard. Like, if this was
Hugo.
Arrow, this would be his John Diggle.
Hugo. I like the name Hugo.
Hugo. I love the name Hugo.
Sounds rough, but vaguely friendly if you want him to be.
What do you think of the last name for Hugo? Ferdinand.
Hugo Ferdinand. I dig it.
Hugo Ferdinand.
Keep going back to the sword that I put on the boy.
So, question.
Yes?
So he's got this father we've been talking about the whole time. Is
Yes.
his mom in the picture?
I'd imagine so, but it doesn't have to be like a good way. You know, like the trophy wife kind of thing, maybe.
Well, so
Or
I've
she
written
got.
out, like, Chevron as the human parent, right? Because he's half-elf.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the mother would be the elven parent.
Well, they could both be half elves.
Well, they could both be half-elves. Do we want to do that? We could totally do that. What's your gut say, Katie?
I do think it's nice to do both half elves.
Okay, then we shall absolutely do that. So I'll make her a Balthazar as well. And
Oh?
King Nerdly says Chevron Balthazar was the name of his prom date.
fantastic.
What?
I bet you had an awesome prom. Chevron Balthazar, and we're gonna put in. What do you think of Georgina Balthazar?
Ooh. Just snotty fancy enough.
Mm-hmm.
But not like too much that you're obviously trying to.
We apologize to all Georginas in chat.
It's nothing against you. I'm assuming you're a very lovely person.
Captain of... I'm calling their ship the Silver Star.
Ooh, fancy.
Okay. Now he's got to have enemies, right? So there's got to be rival merchants guilds, obviously. Rival merchants that he's working with. Alright. What do you think of Johann Thomason as a rival merchant?
As a rival merchant. I like it. He could be like the up and coming like merchant.
Mm-hmm.
Because Thomason doesn't seem like that ye old like old money family kind of name.
Right. And, you know, his name is Johann. They're all named Johann.
Everyone's named Johann. I have to use a line tool for the scabbard of this sword because it'd be very difficult to just draw the line with my hand.
And Kate, so in your opinion,
Yes.
what's the difficulty difference between drawing like a body as opposed to like a weapon?
That entirely depends on the person doing it.
Oh, okay.
It's entirely dependent on them. Some people are better at drawing human anatomy, some people are better at drawing inanimate objects like swords. It entirely depends on what they specialize in.
Well, that's fair.
I personally am very good at human anatomy. It's where I'm my best. I cannot tell if this is changing the thickness of the line I just drew. Gosh dang it. It's just a really skinny line. Okay.
So I'm putting another enemy down. David Roman. And David Roman
He owns a rowboat business.
is the harbor master, and I picture that this, you know, snotty young trade prince once really teed off the harbor master, and so they have this enemy relationship going on.
Aw, dang, kids.
Get out of my harbor!
Get off my docks.
Get off my docks! Awesome. All right, backstory. This is where the meat and potatoes of every yes.
King Nerdly says it's amazing how quickly JD can come up with so many creative character details on the spot. Bravo to you as well, sir.
Well, thank you.
So many nice words.
All right, backstory. Now we could go simple, right? I could just say he is a merchant prince.
We could, but we're not going to, obviously, because when you start a sentence like that, it means we're not going to.
Mm-hmm. We have to give him a name. We haven't named him.
His last name is Balthazar.
What do you think of Donovan Balthazar?
Donovan. I like it.
Donovan Balthazar.
Oh, I thought you said Donovan, not Donathan.
No, Donovan, yeah, with a V. V-A-N,
Okay.
Donovan. Donovan Balthazar.
Right.
Was born.
Remember, folks at home, if you can't draw a straight line, that's what the line tool's for in Photoshop. It does it for you. Don't be afraid to use it. I'm gonna crop my canvas just so it's just the person right now. So you can really focus in.
Alright, ready?
Yeah?
First paragraphs. Donovan Balthazar was born to Chevron Balthazar at sea, aboard the Silver Star. The common joke for him growing up was that his heart was born to the sea, and the sea would always draw him back. As an aquatic elf, this of course was no surprise, but rather than enjoy his time underwater, the boating world drew him in. A shrewd, clever, and often creative man, Donovan found himself a natural at negotiations and trade deals. This led to him entering the family business at a much younger age than anticipated. That is not the way you spell opinionated. But that is.
I am getting the feel that he's a very opinionated person.
Right, he's got that strength of personality, right? He comes in, he knows exactly who he is, exactly what he wants.
And exactly how much money he wants you to give him.
Exactly.
We're on to the legs finally. We finally finished up the torso.
Fantastic.
Took us long enough.
Selected dimension.
So you finished up the character sheet, right?
I'm nearly there. I still do equipment, I believe,
Oh, okay.
in order for us to be fully done with level 1.
Okay.
And then I get to start stepwise leveling this character up. We get to build a bard. How's the art coming?
Good. We're just about to do the shoes. I got the major details in. I'll probably go back and start putting in like the finer embroidery details.
Now, you said you're doing cuffs for the shoes, right? Like the fancy pirate shoes?
Yeah, like that. Also on the gloves as well, because that helps tie the outfit together, you know.
I can't wait to see that. That's awesome.
It's fashion, baby.
Right, so the full 3-paragraph backstory is Donovan Balthazar was born to Chevron Balthazar at sea aboard the Silver Star. The common joke from growing up was that his heart was born to the sea, and the sea would always draw him back. As an aquatic elf, this was of course no surprise, but rather than enjoy his time underwater, the boating world drew him in. A shrewd, clever, and often creative man, Donovan found himself a natural at negotiations and trade deals. This led to him entering the family business at a much younger age than originally anticipated. Strongly opinionated, Donovan doesn't take no for an answer in trade. he focuses on earning coin wherever he goes, but this has of course led to him having some intense rivalries and the creation of enemies, some of which are not always the most advantageous. For example, the Harbor Master. Right.
I still have to do the face as well. Facial hair? Are we thinking facial hair?
If he does facial hair, it's gotta be like a tiny thing, like a soul patch or something. Right?
Or like a
That's what I'm
tiny
picturing.
mustache.
Yeah. Yeah. Something like the pencil line mustache or something like that. He's got to look like he's that guy that walks in. And he can't have the full beard, but he also can't be the completely clean-shaven look either, right? He's got to have that devious, I might be the villain because of my facial hair look.
the possible villain archetype.
Yeah.
What is the chat thing? They have any thoughts and opinions on facial hair for this boy?
Selecting weapons, giving him a rapier.
I drew him with a rapier. What a coincidence.
Wow, there we go. It's like we're on the same page.
Opposite ends of the table, though.
I'm going to give him the Diplomat pack instead of the Entertainer pack, because I feel like that's going to fit more of the Trade Prince vibe that we've been building all along.
Yeah, we're not very... this is a very instrumental bard.
Yep.
Which sometimes happens. Not all bards need to have loots.
King Nerdly says soul patch, because it's appropriately douchey.
We're thinking the same way too, King Nerdly. I love that you're in chat.
I love your
Wink.
reasoning. Soul patch it is.
Kate, I'm giving him bagpipes in his starting equipment, so there's that.
I have not drawn him with instruments and just doing the...
Oh, I don't think we need to
Very
draw
good.
him with instruments. I'm just keeping you up to the ridiculous things I'm doing. Alright, starting equipment's been added. We'll equip it, and then we'll take a look at our level 1 character. And... voila. Oh, his name is still temporary name. Hang on, let me change that.
I forgot for a second we gave him a name.
Donovan Balthazar. Let's see what we have for stock imagery here in D&D Beyond. Let's see if we can find one that looks pretty cool for him. An aquatic elf. I don't see any...
It should give you, like, the closest it can get for you for that race, like, right at the top in D&D.
It is giving me a smattering of half-elves. None of them are particularly aquatic. Though I think this one here has the closest look to what we're going for. We'll add your art to this anyway. before we're
Obviously,
done,
yep.
but-
Whenever we do this, you get the art and the character sheet.
Alright, Donovan Balthazar.
Chest hair?
Oh, a plumage of chest hair, I imagine.
Plumage?
Right? Like a forest of chest hair where amongst tiny little fey creatures might be able to dwell.
Well, I feel like now you're just pulling my leg.
No, but I mean, like, I do see, like the royal chest hair. You ever see, like princes or kings depicted in, like, in media where they've got,
Your
like...
shirt pulled right...
Yeah,
Oh.
and it's a rug.
Well, I'm not thinking, like, an actual, like, that thick for, like, a suave boy. He doesn't have nearly enough facial hair to justify that, you know?
Right, I understand.
I feel like with that much, you need a full beard. However, he will have chest hair. Man, he is just looking like a guy that you would just not get along with most of the time.
I
Dig
think
it.
That's what we want, right? Like, that's the
I mean,
ideal.
yes, but, like, still. It's the vibe.
Like, he's the guy who walks in and all the other people at the trade agreement are like,
Oh, this guy
guy's
again.
here.
He's back.
We're in trouble. So 15 armor class, plus 4 initiative, 10 HP. Not bad for level 1, really.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Plus 7 on his deception for level 1. I mean, that's what you want.
That's bars, baby.
That's nice. And that's because we got that 20 charisma, which is just delicious.
That's why I like rolling, because then you get the fun stuff. And your highest stat at level 1 doesn't have to be a 16.
Right.
Or a 17 if you're lucky.
I'm just scrolling through the character sheet so that folks in the chat can see how it came out.
Mm-hmm. I'm adding detailing, the finer details of the outfits before I start coloring.
The finer details or like the finer details?
Well, I'm adding a circles I'm adding circles to start. I'll add more detail as I go. I just want to get a feel for like a design pattern.
Tell me when it would be pretty cool for me to come and take a look, because I'm eager to see what you're cooking up over there on your crock pot.
Let me just get more details on this vest.
Oh, absolutely. Take your time. Art is not a quick thing.
These circles are letting them kind of like a scale look, and I think I'm going to lean into that a little bit.
Right on.
Don't worry, I haven't forgotten the bedazzled vest.
Do you guys think that your father's actually going to see this?
I have no idea. Probably not. But I'd imagine they're probably watching, like, Supernatural or something right now, because I know they watch Supernatural at night.
Alright, so should I stepwise level the character? You know, go level 2, then level 3, or should I jump right into level 20? What are we thinking? I'm hearing stepwise.
With how D&D Beyond works, if you do level 20, it gives you, like, all the bumps for each one.
Right.
And then your final spell list is bards are those classes that they learn spells and they can't learn any more besides when they level.
Right.
Or if the DM decides you can learn extra spells.
Well,
so I think level 20 would work for this, and just going through the list.
Alright, so what I'll do is I'll just jump like level by level here under the class tab and look at what they get and make my decisions one by one for that.
Yeah.
Song of Rest. I've never made a bard in 5th edition before, fun fact. It's a class that I've never played.
I've done a bar before, and I don't think I've ever used the Song of Rest because we never really had short rest. We all just kind of just took naps constantly. Like 8-hour nap. And then we're back at it again with our nonsense.
It's pretty cool though, a healing ability at short rest.
Mm-hmm. Which is useful if you take short rests. Entirely situational.
Now here comes the hard decision. What is the Bard College that we're going to put him
What were
into?
the colleges?
Glamour, Lore, Swords, Valor, and Whispers. I'm thinking Glamour, probably.
I was thinking that too, or maybe Whispers.
Whispers might be nice because he did want us to not focus on the appearance and the glam of the role.
Because Glamour is it's very charm-centric. Whispers is very, it's the one that leans a bit more into, like, the rogue aspect of you could be a bard.
Ooh, yeah, look at that. So Psychic Blades.
Yeah.
And Words of Terror.
It gives you a little bit of multi-class without having to actually dip a level into,
You know what this makes me think? Is
what?
like, when the deal goes wrong and he has to get rid of the competition aggressively.
Just murders his clients.
I mean,
it happens. It happens.
Yeah, totally.
I'm digging the fish scales, and those are going to be bedazzled, don't you worry.
That's awesome.
These are going to be bedazzled.
Let's see. Expertise in deception, for sure. And I'm going to say persuasion, for sure.
So he can lie or tell the truth.
Exactly. Really well.
So you don't have to lie constantly to get good rolls.
Yep, so let's bump those skills up.
It's like, man, I'm really good at lying, but I have to tell the truth right now. Man, if I just lied, I could have done better.
I'm going to forego feats. I'm going to make it purely every 4 levels we're going to increase an ability score.
Well, we should look through the feats at least. Well, they don't give you descriptions unless you click on them, though, I guess.
That's true. Although maybe there's something here that, like you said, maybe there's something here that just really jumps out.
King Nerdly says the vest looks amazing. I want to wear one in real life.
I'm sure that there is an independent artist somewhere online who makes custom vests, and you can pay them quite a bit of money to make you this custom nonsense that I have drawn. But I'm glad that you like it. I think I'm going to leave the vest at that for now. Going to finish up the little details. I'll take a step back and have a look at the whole thing, I think, now. But I think I've got everything I wanted done. Yeah, I'll leave the sword at that.
Here's a feat. Inspiring Leader.
Oh, yeah.
Using your spend 10 minutes inspiring your companions. You can pick up to 6 friendly creatures, 6 of your allies, within 30 feet of you. And they gain temporary hit points equal to your level plus your charisma modifier.
I like it.
So here's another quick awesome buff. I mean, not that bards are already chock full of buffs, because they are.
That is the whole class. It's the buff class. They emotionally buff you.
Absolutely.
They're like a therapist, but they play a guitar during the therapy session. It was a little weird at first, but you got used to it.
Alright. We got Font of Inspiration.
Yes, yes. I'm finished with the liner if you want to go have a look at the character right now, Jeremy.
Yes, please.
We've got for the boy right now.
Dashing, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at that. He's got that suave, cunning operator look. Very confident. I love the pose. It's extremely confident.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I do work on the poses beforehand. This way you don't have to see me go through like 10 different poses to get the right feel.
No, he's got that very I'm self-assured look about him. That's perfect for what we're trying to go for.
Alright, so let's put all this line art on a separate layer and get to work.
Ooh, Counter Charm. Mantle of Whispers. Mantle of Whispers.
Counter Charm. Counter Charm doesn't actually feel as useful as you'd think it would be. Which is a shame, because you'd think it'd be nice, but it's just like, oh, if you play it, your people get, anyone who can hear it gets advantage on, I think, wisdom saving throws against getting charmed? I think that's what it does. Which isn't, like, super. It's alright.
Oh, it's
but you have to keep
action.
But you have to keep playing as well.
Yeah.
And it's only for that round. So it's not a great ability.
What would make it really potent is if it was a reaction.
Yeah. Change.
If a humanoid dies within 30 feet of you, you can magically capture its shadow using your reaction. You retain the shadow until you use it or finish a long rest. You can use the shadow as an action. When you do, it vanishes, magically transforming into a disguise that appears on you.
That's...
Oh man. Imagine the businessman who does this, kills the opponent, goes in as the opponent, and just botches their trade deal.
the prestige.
Absolutely.
The panache.
I mean, just talk about a hostile takeover of another merchant's guild. You could absolutely crush them from the inside.
Because you murdered them and then you took their face.
That's stunning.
That's a plan right there. DMs, look out. Someone's gonna pull that one on you. Like, if I could just kill him before he can do anything.
This one I am going to give ability score improvement. We're going to increase that con for health reasons.
Yeah.
So constitution score goes up, health goes up as well.
They're only as useful as long as they're on the battlefield.
Which is very true.
Like, sure, you got these cool abilities, but if you go down, like, round 2, you can't do nothing. And you better hope your healer can get you up fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Ah, yes, more expertise. Well, I think expertise this time, insight.
Insight, yeah.
For sure.
Gotta know they're lying to you.
Absolutely, right? That's, like, key to running any business. And then either history or survival. I think history, but well, that's only because, like, those who do not know their history are doomed to repeat it, and if you want to be prepared to corner the market, you have to know how the market has operated in the past.
But I think in terms of, like, mechanic-wise, that wouldn't be very useful for that.
Yes and no. It depends on the dungeon master, really, and how they're playing with the character. But if we're talking in general, maybe not. We could go survival, because those checks could be used as he sails.
Yeah.
And travels the world.
Yeah, I lean more towards that, at least for,
Sure.
What's the term I'm looking for? Forgetting words.
No worries.
Never mind. I'm just, I'm currently, taking some of the blue that I used for the hair and I'm smudging it into the area where the chest hair was to give it a bit more color.
Very nice. Alright, we have magical secrets now, Kate. Ooh.
Which class do we want to steal from?
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. What do we want to do to give some true potency here?
Possibilities are literally endless.
They really are.
It's like, oh, you wanted to be a paladin bard? Done. Cleric bard? done. Druid Bard, done. Wizard Bard, done. It's all free game, baby.
Let me see. What do we want to do then?
No, no classes are immediately jumping out at me, just due to the fact that he's a roguish bard.
Is absolutely a roguish bard, and maybe for that reason,
Maybe wizard.
something like Booming Blade.
Maybe.
So when he's got that rapier that you've drawn him with, right? And we haven't really. I mean, I've lent a little into some combat-based spells, but not heavily into actual combat-based spells.
I suppose. Maybe look at what kind of spells wizards have, because there's the roguish archetype that uses rogue spells.
I'm being foolish. We're gonna give him Augury.
What?
The spell Augury.
Talk to God?
Yep.
Let's bring Jesus into this deal.
Well, exactly. Think about that, right? So, like, the market's unpredictable. How do you know if a trade deal's going to go well or not? How do you know what the right move is?
You're going to phone a friend, God, and be like, hey, how's the stock market look?
It's like, we're about to make some really risky investments. We need to know if these are going to pan out or not in the long run. What do you think? And it's like calling any of your other brokers and being like, we're looking for some financial advice, except this is like the one who would know. The omniscient one.
I would have never imagined that that's what Augury would be used for. To ask God about the stock market.
But why not?
But why not? God, you better hope your God is patient, because, man, people are looking for, like, their parents or, like, where, like, an evil guy is, and you're just like, stocks. What's my interest rate? Like, it's gonna be bad or good?
Absolutely.
Amazing. But yeah, maybe get some illusion spells.
Like, the friends and charming thing, fast friends.
I keep having to lean again over the table to cough, this way it's not into the microphone. I'm trying to figure out a good color for the gloves and the boots, because they're leather. But he has a cool color scheme, which means you can't do, like, the regular red or brown, reddish brown. So I have to mess around with, like, a blue and see if I can get that to look like a leather.
Let's see. Let's go with dexterity, right? So
Yeah.
leaning into the fencing. I'm doing my next ability score increase.
Yeah.
And I'm leaning into just pumping dexterity.
Yeah, I'd say after dexterity, maybe wisdom, because he has, like, the insight and stuff. And
That's smart. I like the way you think.
just bump what he's good at. That's what bards are all about. You hit level 20 and suddenly you have a plus, like, 17 to a skill. It's like, well, that was a 2, so that makes it a 19. Like, oh, geez.
Alright. More magical secrets are ours to claim.
As a DM, you need to be aware of what your bard is expertise in, because you try to make a challenge, like, difficult, and they're like, well, I rolled a 5, so that's 20-something, and you're like, You have to know.
So, more magical secrets, Kate. Gift of Gab.
Gift of Gab.
It's one of those Acquisitions Incorporated supplement spells.
The fun time spells.
Yes. And it totally fits what he's going for here. What do you think of fear as a spell?
Fear, it makes people run away from you, right? If they fail, they can't attack you, or if they do, they have disadvantage, and then they have to run away from you as their movement.
As a way to just throw up something like that if he just needs people to flee.
It's not a bad option. It wouldn't be my first choice for an option, but certainly could work.
I'll be like the feared businessman, right? So sometimes that's what you want to be.
I mean, he looks more skeevy than terrifying.
Right, but this is the magical augmentation.
Yeah, I get it. I'm so sorry that I keep coughing.
I'm so sorry that you are coughing there. I hope that
I'm coming down
it's
from
better for you soon.
I'm coming down from a cold.
That is rough. It's going around.
Went through the entire household.
Ugh.
to artists. Make sure you use a different layer for each color. In case you want to change the color, you can just use an adjustment tool like hue and saturation to just change the whole layer to change the color instead of having to go back or paint bucket it.
Ooh, more magical secrets.
More magical secrets! What are you thinking this time?
Dominate person. With one that's still got like the either control or have the words that hurt people. That's what I'm leaning into. Those are his spell types.
I think I used Dominate Person on you once in a game.
You did. You absolutely took control of my character.
I took your character out of the game and away from your control for like half a session, and then immediately you guys wanted him back, and you found a way to convince the bad guy to give him back.
That was the gift of gab.
And then we had to get rid of your other character.
And then I'm going to give him Magnificent Mansion because he's got that luxury. As he travels, he's going to want to live...
He's not going to want to sleep in a tent like a pleb.
No, come on.
What is he? Poor?
Alright. Last ability score improvement.
Question. Can the Mystic Mansion has, I don't think it's actually called the Mystic Mansion, is it? Magnificent Mansion.
Magnificent Mansion.
Mystic Mansion's from Mutants and Masterminds.
Yes.
Magnificent Mansion has specters in it, right?
Yes.
Can they attack? As like a thought in my head, can they attack people inside the mansion?
I mean,
can they kill?
Why not? No, so it's less specters and more unseen servants. They're just meant to serve the players.
Because I was thinking, like, you bring people in for like a business deal inside the mansion, and if it goes wrong, all 100 of your servants attack.
See, as a DM, I would love to warp that spell just to be able to tell that story, because I feel like that's a story that needs to be told.
That's a horror movie concept.
I don't think that that's the original intent behind.
Well, homebrew exists for a reason.
Yeah, well, stories are stories.
And if I want to murder some people inside of my magical mansion that I summoned from nothing, I want to be able to do that.
Absolutely. So I think now we're going to give him, for 2 more cantrips, Prestidigitation, because it's got a ton of uses.
It can clean your clothes, which I used it for a lot.
Yep.
We're getting the sign that it's 8 o'clock.
Okay, so we got a half hour left.
I can finish coloring and shading by 8:30.
Okay, let me see here. And then, I think mending is something else I'll give, just in case clothing tears or something like that.
You can also use that repeatedly to, like, repair part of a boat.
Absolutely. Alright, we've got some more spells to pick.
Magical secrets?
Distort value, absolutely. Alright. What are level 2 spells? Ooh, what do you think that's Zone of Truth?
No one lies at this table.
Exactly. Like, okay, it's a meeting of the Merchants Guilds. We're going to make sure that we're not the ones getting lied to. We're not the ones getting, screwed over when it comes to renegotiating terms.
Absolutely. Do you wanna mess this boy's deal up?
Let's see here. Level 3. I'm definitely thinking we chose Fast Friends before. I'm gonna take Enemies Abound. Absolutely. That's definitely one that we're gonna do.
What does that spell do again?
I shall read it for you. You reach into the mind of one creature you can see and force it to make an intelligence saving throw. A creature automatically succeeds if it's immune to being frightened. On a failed save, the target loses the ability to distinguish friend from foe, regarding all creatures it can see as enemies until the spell ends. Each time the target takes damage, it can repeat the saving throw, ending the effect on itself on a success. That would just cause utter chaos if you cast it into a rival merchant guild.
Whew. Raymond to ruin lives here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. 100%. And then I would say Clairvoyance for corporate espionage.
clairvoyance, that's where you can put like an eye or something
Yeah.
instead of a building. Just
Yeah, it gives you a scrying-like effect. You create an invisible sensor within a range and a location very familiar to you. But again, go visit somebody else's corporate headquarters, take the tour, drop a clairvoyant spell, and now you can steal their corporate strategy.
Espionage, baby. This entire character is built around the idea of corporate espionage.
Compulsion and confusion. Again, we're messing with minds. All of his spells are built around the idea of meeting with people and negotiating trade agreements.
There's
And messing with them.
very little combat ability. Hopefully he's good with a sword.
Definitely geese. You place a magical command on a creature that you can see within range, forcing it to carry it out.
Doesn't that spell last for like a month?
30 days, yep.
It takes like an hour to cast, I think.
It does.
Another spell I used on you.
Mislead is another good one. You become invisible at the same time as an invisible double or illusory double of your peers where you are standing. So you throw up a decoy. So when the deal goes bad, you can get out.
Street smarts.
Yep. And then us scrying, obviously.
Obviously. It's just like, what are they doing?
I think mass suggestion, because that's the best way to lead to like mass marketing in medieval society, right? So
The
you cast a
downside
spell
is-
and you say, everybody go buy my stuff.
The downside is, don't a lot of those charm spells are like, after the spell ends, the person knows.
Yeah, but at that point, they've already bought your product, right? So they've already invested in your business.
Yeah, but then there's like the legal ramifications, because a lot of civilized, like the big cities are like, hey, if you use charm spells on someone unwillingly, that's a crime, baby.
I think they'd have to prove it in the court of law. All you need to do is charm the right lawyer.
Like magically, or just with like your charms?
A little column A, a little column B.
Well, then the lawyer's against you once the spell's up.
I mean, hopefully the case is over before that happens.
Courtrooms can take a while, man.
That's true. Really, it's going to come down to what the Dungeon Master does, right?
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Dungeon Master has final say on everything.
It's very true. Yeah, Mirage Arcane. Create hallucinatory, wow. Fake terrain.
Fake land.
Illusory terrain. Let's see. Yeah, glibness, right? Until the spell ends, when you make a charisma check, you can replace any number you roll with a 15.
Oh.
Yeah. I think I actually chose 3 spells on one of these levels back here, right? So let's go back to that. Yep. I think if I had to pick, I'll drop Scrying because we already have Clairvoyance. I'm going to throw up a spell for level 9. We'll pick one of those.
Which one? Because level 9 spells, there's like only like 5 or 6 you can get.
There are 6 of them here, yeah. And I think Foresight.
Oh, that's like for 8 hours you advantage on a bunch of stuff.
Yep. But like, in terms of just like story, it's like, oh yeah, he had the Foresight to predict the market.
Stocks.
Oh, I didn't go to level 20, I went to level 19. We may have more.
More?
Potentially.
Love it.
So, we are level 20. Great. And then class features, level 20, we got Superior Inspiration. When you roll initiative and you have no uses of Bardic Inspiration left, you regain 1 use.
Amazing.
Yes. Truly a level 20 ability.
Truly worth waiting 20 levels for.
Oh, beyond any doubt. D&D beyond any doubt.
Oof.
I mean, ideally, I think you'd have some magic items too by level 20. But
Yeah.
looking at the outcome, Kate, we have armor class 16, initiative plus 8, 183 hit points.
Not bad. It's almost 200.
Plus 17 to deception, plus 13 to insight, and plus 17 to persuasion. This wolf has conquered Wall Street.
I just got a random idea for a character concept. It's a werewolf who does stocks.
That would would make such a great Mutants and Masterminds character.
His hero name is the Wolf on Wall Street.
Yep. Beautiful. Lots of spells. We don't have a ritual spells. Unseen Servant, Comprehend Languages, Augury, and Augury at higher level. Very cool. I need to play a bard in a D&D game. They just look like they're a lot of fun.
They're so much fun. And they're so customizable. You can literally be whatever kind of bard you want to be.
Absolutely. What do you think, Hey? Is that a good time for me to take another peek at how things are going on your side?
If you want to, yeah.
I absolutely do. Love the art.
I got the colors.
Oh
Most
man,
of them.
that's coming along. I love the vest color compared to this color of the skin.
Yeah. I'm going to add a bedazzling to the scales. This way it looks like more like gems.
See, I see the white, I see the blue, and I see the light blue, and all I can think is like a seafoam theme.
Mm-hmm.
That's stellar.
Yeah.
Love it.
And shading will be very quick because it doesn't take a whole lot.
That's awesome. All right. And let's see if I can put up a poem about our sweet Donovan Balthazar. Just like I did for our friend Hannah last week.
Mm-hmm.
Hannah, if you're watching, we miss you.
Please call us back.
I'll put it right here. We can put the poetry right into the character sheet. That's beautiful.
Ooh.
Yeah, right? Shred man, a shrewd man.
Does he shred it?
I mean, he is a bard. He can absolutely shred it.
I was actually thinking more like a surfboarder or a skateboarder shredding.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, loves the sea as well, so why not?
Why not?
Not receipt. Deceit.
Do you have a receipt? I'd like to return this boy. He's too salty. Take him back.
Okay, Kate, I have a poem for you about our boy Donovan Balthazar.
Read it to me.
Donovan Balthazar, light on his feet, a shrewd man of prowess, of sails and deceit. Donovan Balthazar, how shall we define? An elf of culture, a palate refined. Donovan Balthazar, a prince not annoying, out every day hustling for that coin. Donovan Balthazar, if you see him, you've lost. Every trade agreement will henceforth be tossed.
I dig it.
Yeah, right?
If anyone's confused of what I'm doing with these dots, you're going to see in a moment. It's just going to take me a while to get to where I'm going.
Let's see. I'm going to say, let's add some items. Let's give him some magic items, right? I mean, he's level 20 now. Level 20 characters would have some magic items.
Yeah. Well, any good bard should have one of those magical instruments.
Absolutely. I'm going to go back into edit character because I prefer that screen for this. And we're going to get some sweet magic items going in here. Magical instrument, absolutely. I'm thinking magical weapon as well.
Of course.
Maybe some magic armor. Isn't there a magic armor of the sailor, right? That gives you
the mariner armor.
Yeah, that's exactly the mariner armor. That's what we want to give him. So let's add some items here. I'll do 3 items. 4 items. Let's go. Common, magical, proficient. Let's give him a sword first. Let's see if we can find something on brand for what we're making for him. I feel like luck plate, that's way too much power.
So there I am, a weapon. The chance or something? Not chance.
What do you think of the dancing blade?
Ooh.
So you can throw it up, speak a command word, and it just moves on its own.
I dig it.
Yeah, right? Let's give him that for a weapon.
I'm aware of the time, so I'm trying to do this as fast as possible.
No worries. And if we don't complete something on stream for whatever reason, on the time that we've given ourselves, we will complete it off stream and publish it for you still. Mariner's armor.
Isn't there like a weapon though that like gives you like luck or something, or is like there's like a component of it?
Well, luck blade, that does wishes, I think, right? So
I'm not thinking of that. It's like you get like a bonus or something, but like at a cost. The gambler or something. I think that's what it's called.
Yep, Gambler's Blade.
He's a gambler.
He is a gambler. Oh, that's perfect, Kate. Yes, that's exactly what we're going to give him. He's got the Gambler's Blade. I'll remove the other one.
Alright. So I've got the bedazzling pretty much done, which I think looks nice. Main color of it, the darker dots were for the shadows in it, because with gems they're like the depth can be seen with like a darker color, and then the whites for the lighting of it. I think that's all I need to color the belt. I forgot the belt. That's an eraser. That's not going to color anything.
We want to search Instrument of the Bards.
It was a lute, a heart, and I'm not sure what else. I'm also aware that there's a thing called the pipes of the sewers, which just summons a bunch of rats.
It's a beautiful item.
I love it. Makes combat real confusing when your player summons just an army of rats, and you're like, okay. That's what we're doing today.
I'll stack this sweet level 20 character. And Jeff, if you are watching, you're going to get both the level 1 copy of the character and the level 20. The level 20 I've made ridiculous, and the level 1 is usable.
It's usable.
Oh yeah, there's DOS loot.
DOS loot. I had the DOS loot. It's pretty good.
Oh yes, the pipes of sewers. I might give him the robe of useful items.
Ooh. It just has patches of things you can use.
He's gonna be traveling, right? So why not have something like that?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it works. It's a pretty useful item overall. I mean, it's a cloak of useful things.
Yep. Totally. And the folding boat.
Yes.
Yes.
Never leave home without a boat.
And the wind fan to power it.
This is a land boat, baby.
That's right. So, we'll just unequip our leather and get rid of that. So we're now wearing the mariner's leather. Equip our gambler's blade. Pull up character sheet. But yeah, you can use the wind fan together with the folding boat so that as you move the wind fan, it pushes the boat forward. That's a combination that we've used before in game.
A wombo combo.
That's right. It reminds me, oh man, help me out. What was the name of that Legend of Zelda game for the GameCube?
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker. It reminds me of Wind Waker.
I think in that game your boat was a dragon.
It looked so cool.
I think someone modded it for VR as well.
Oh, even though
it's a third-person game.
That's really cool. I can get behind that. Alright, let's look at our attack actions here. Plus 11 to hits. That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
Choose a magical bonus of +1 and +3. The sword gains that bonus to its attack and damage rolls for each point of bonus you choose for the sword. You take a corresponding penalty to your death saving throws.
What?
Ooh. You can change this magical bonus each day at dawn. That's a pretty potent gamble, and that can go horrible so quickly.
Or great.
Or great. But also really horrible.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know if I would use it, but I do think it fits the character's flaw pretty well. I'd like to think that they won the Gambler's Blade in a gamble itself.
Oh, absolutely. It's the how lucky are you feeling today sword. Oh,
yeah.
shoot. No. Put that back. There we go.
Absolutely.
I accidentally popped out a menu on Photoshop.
I hate it when that happens. So there's a lot of effects for fear for this character. There's a lot of effects for manipulation. So I do picture it's the businessman that controls people or uses fear as a way to dominate the market. And honestly, knowing your dad the way that I do, I think that he would really appreciate playing this character.
It definitely fits his usual play style.
Yep.
He likes characters that can mess with you.
Like it steers into it deliciously.
Even if he doesn't like to think of himself as that kind of player.
I think sometimes he really enjoys it.
And then sometimes he meets characters like, oh, I'm really pious. Then it's just like, and pay me my money, bitch.
That can happen.
That happens.
Oh, I need to pick my attunement items. Gambler's Blade. Done. Just make sure I'm rules legal.
Mm-hmm.
Jack of all trades is just so much fun.
It's like, hey, would you like proficiency in, like, kind of in everything? And he's like, well, that wouldn't hurt.
That would not hurt.
It's like, I had a -1, but now I don't.
just filling in the appearance paragraph now. And I think that's the last thing I have to do to make the character sheet.
I'm still adding in shading, but for the pants and stuff, it's going to be real quick because there's not a lot of detail on the pants.
Nice. Scales and patches on his body as a result of his half-elf heritage.
Scales?
Right? Not scales, sorry, what was it?
Fins?
Fins, thank you.
Yeah, some finnage on the ears.
Some.
If he was a full sea elf, I would have gone more fishy, but almost leaning into like a long-eared Triton kind of look, but he's only half, so he only gets a little bit.
His patches will be on his ears. Half-elf heritage.
I think I'm almost done. If anyone's looking to like do like a cool tone leather, these low saturation blue and like bluish purple are very good for that. And simply up the dark, a little bit of the darkness and the saturation for shading. That gets you in a pretty good spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm done.
I think I am as well. So I think that's it for this one.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean,
Are we happy with it?
Yeah. So change
Awesome.
the background color. It's red, and I don't think that suits him.
So last week I actually took the character we made, Talos, and I made a wallpaper out of it, just using the generic background color. And we may do that again with this one. All of the characters we create are up on Meterios.com, Meterios.com. You'll see a section there for character Crockpot. We'll be linking to that this week from geekydoom.com, so if you want a one-stop shop, geekydoom.com is your place.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys have any other ideas of things that you want to see, again, please go to geekydoom.com and submit them. Or reach out to Kate or myself. Once again, I'm at geekydoom on Twitter.
And I'm at Days Drawings.
And thank you guys for joining us. We hope you had as much fun as we did.
Bye-bye.
Bye.